No Standing, a boxing podcast. We discuss every organization and weight class with your host, Bronx Bomber, educated with the craft. Punch a topic hard like heavyweights, hitting the bag from the top rank to the upcoming. Washed up to the dark horse, champs, #1 contenders. Quick jab or sharp cross, we your source. Come get it. Tuning in, you can have it. Internationally known, our information is valid. See, we on a higher plane, no two episodes the same. We get better as we train, so on top we remain. Come join the conversation, it's insight you'll gain. And then outside of the rain, we do the damn thing.
All right, fight fans, welcome to another edition of No Standing, Boxing Talk. And today, I got a special guest with me, especially because I know this kid from when he was boxing from a young age, young little man, way before his preteens. I got none other than with me than Elijah Pierce, originally from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We met in Lawton, Oklahoma, through his dad. We'll get into all that here a little bit. He's currently a super bantamweight prospect with a record of 15-2 with 13 big KOs. He's a beast. He's described on most boxing websites as a southpaw who could box with a strong punch. So give a warm welcome and the readers of New York Fights to Elijah Pierce. Champ, how you doing?
Doing well, man. I appreciate you for having me on, man.
Man, I can tell you're a fighter, man. You got a bag just hanging up.
Yeah, man. We're working 24/7.
Yeah, man. So to give a little background, folks, me and this young man, we go back a little bit, man. I'll tell you, like when I first met him, he was only maybe 10 or 11 years old. And he was already in the gym with his father. You may have heard his father. He trained some nice prospects, some nice contenders in his time. Andy Pierce, a good buddy of mine. We met through the Army. His father's a veteran. I'm a veteran. And his father's a coach. And at the time I was coaching. And we came along. We met at Grady's gym, man, when your dad was coaching Grady Bad Boy Brewer. If you don't know Grady Bad Boy Brewer, he was the champion of season 2, the contender. And that's how I met a young Elijah Pierce. He was bad back then. Elijah, tell everybody a little bit about your upbringing, the boxing. Obviously give us all the family dynamics, where you're from, and what got you started in the sport.
Well, man, like I said, I started boxing when I was 6 years old. Obviously, like I said, through my father. With just a bonding experience with him. And as time went on, man, I showed natural capability. And my mother and father divorced when I was 6 as well. So I ended up moving to Atlanta with with her, my brothers, and my stepfather. And whenever I would come back to spend the summers with him, I always retained the information that he taught me. So which is something that he began to notice. So when I turned 8, I had my first amateur fight, which I lost. But at the same time, it lit a fire under me, and I just kind of always wanted to continue to compete. So just kept going, and and also too, I was playing basketball. I was a real avid basketball player. I was really good too, but I just think due to my stature and my ability compared to boxing, I just think it was more conducive for me to box. So my dad and he insisted as well. So I just chose boxing, and it just kind of stuck with me ever since. I'm grateful for the dynamics of my family. I have a great support system. Like I said, my father, he's always been involved, obviously, in my career. My mother, she's a very important part. Even my stepfather, he's a very huge part. He's actually one of my co-managers. He's been nothing but a father as well. Now I'm just looking to go to the next level. I recently signed with Jetta Promotions. They've been very good to me so far, and we're just looking to continue and expand. And also shout out to my manager, other manager, Treef and Petrov. Like I said, all my team, man. I have a very strong team, and I don't think that there's anybody in the super bantamweight division who's going to be able to handle me thus far. I feel like I'm too sharp skill wise. I have the power. I have the footwork, technique, and everything else that combined to make a world champion. And that's what I'm looking to do in the immediate future. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm just a simple guy. Very family oriented. I have two daughters currently. Um, me and my girl, we're just doing our best to continue to evolve our family, and my ultimate goal through boxing is to, I want to be the first millionaire in my family to solidify and secure my family's future. That's very important to me. And of course, eventually, continue on into uh, um, just helping the community, bettering my community, philanthropy and whatever else I can do to, impact the change in the world, whether it be small or big. I feel like everybody has the power to do so, in whatever capacity that I can do so, I will do.
Yeah. No, and that goes into everything that I remember about you and your father, and from when you were a kid, man. You folks are just, you take your passion not only from the ring, but you take it outside as well, and and all that formulated into who you were. And speaking of boxing specifically, how was your amateur background? How was your pedigree? How many amateur fights did you have? What were some of the accolades, some of the tournaments that prepared you for this moment?
Um, and I think I had about 50 fights. I can't remember precisely the record. I think I was like 30. I was like 34 and like 16 or something like that. I really can't remember, but um, yeah, man, honestly, I was kind of I would say a late bloomer when it came to the amateurs. And really, like sometimes I'll go back and I wish I would have stayed amateur just a little bit longer, because um my third year was when I really started to grow, and I started to really reach my ceiling. Because I remember my first national Golden Gloves was 2013, and I got beat out first round, and then the next year I fought in the USA in the youth USA's, and got beat out first round. And after that, that's when things kind of started to formulate together. And then I made it to I entered the WSB qualifier competition, to which I got second place. And really, I thought I had first place, but um, I avenged that loss in sparring against a kid named, what's his name, Francisco Martinez or whatever. We sparred a couple years after that. And I tore that ass up. So it was kind of got some that good get back.
Yeah, but even when I was watching you, at the gym, even from a young age, man, I always said to myself, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but that your style was always a pro style. It was always suited to the pros. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
My
yeah,
father, he was very big on footwork, man. We were just
right,
very big on footwork, and
right.
a lot of times, in the amateurs, you're supposed to fight. They
Yep.
want you to engage and more so not really move around, not really be as technical. So yeah, that was one thing that kind of worked against me in the beginning. But once I figured out how to incorporate the amateur style with my style, then I started to see more success. Like I said, I had got second in the WSBs. Then I ended up qualifying for the Olympic trials through the second qualifier, and then I made it to the trials. And I was actually the first, I believe, the first designated fighter from Oklahoma to ever participate in the trials. I know there was ones who made it, but they didn't actually go. So I was actually I think I had received a merit from the senator. Anastasia Pittman for doing that. So that was a great accolade that that I get to hold still to this day.
Nice, nice. And I remember, if I remember correctly, your father was started off as a martial artist.
Yeah, yeah.
So so his approach to training was very calculated, very fundamental based. Are you a natural southpaw, or that's something that he incorporated into you young?
Oh no, that was just something that, like I said, he was a natural southpaw, so it was just something that he just taught me off rip, and then I just adapted. And now I'm more so just ambidextrous. I can punch with either hand.
Yeah. So take me back to that decision. You've been a pro for 6 years now.
Hmm.
Take me back to, what was the decision for you to say, you know what? I'm going to take my crack at the pros. I'm done with the amateurs. I've accomplished all I believe I can accomplish. What was the decision for you to finally turn pro?
Well, after the Olympic trials, I was of course, like a lot of the fighters were hot. There were commodities. There was a lot of promotions looking to pick up fighters and everything. So, but honestly, I think I could have done a better job of doing that. Me and my team at the time. But it's a live and learn situation. I feel like we could have done a little bit more as far as marketing myself to a bigger promotion, but we didn't. And so I decided that I was going to fight in the National Golden Gloves one more time before I turned pro. And that was going to be my last tournament, to which I did. And I was actually fighting for the previous 2 years. I was fighting for Georgia, for team Georgia, but I decided to go back home to Oklahoma and fight for them my last go around. And to which I got robbed a terrible decision. I mean, I completely outclassed the kid, and they gave it to him. But end of the day, it was what it was. And then I also my my ex at the time, she was pregnant, so with my daughter. So I just kind of made a decision like, man, I have to. I kind of got scared. I was just kind of like, man, I have responsibilities now. And me being a family oriented man, as I've stated, like I said, my family's most important. So I had to make sure that my end was covered. Of course, I wanted to make sure I was able to provide and make sure I was able to take care of my child. So, ultimately I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to go pro. And take my chances in the professional ranks.
Yeah, yeah. And you had how was that transition? What was that first pro fight like? What was the transition to pros? How much different was it for you?
It was it was honestly pretty natural. I mean, like I said, I've always been a fighter at heart. Many old coaches or just people who've known me will tell you, I've never been the type to cower or express like fear and anything like that. I've always been the one to step up to a challenge. I've always admired pressure as well. Like I do well. I handle pressure very well. So it really wasn't much of a big deal for me. Really, my first 5 or 6 fights, and then eventually when I had I guess you could say step up fight. I knocked that guy out. I believe in the 3rd round. So
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, so, it just, man, like I said, this has just been something that's been a long time coming. I believe, something that's just been predestined, and I just have to, stay focused and remain diligent and step into it.
And along the way, it seems you have a 15-2 record, 13 KOs. Like I said, ranked according to BoxRec, ranked number 8 in the United States, 38 in the world. It seems you should be further along in your career. And I know you have a story to tell. First, a lot of changes happened in your camp, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. First, we got to talk about these 2 losses, because a fighter of your caliber shouldn't have 2 losses in a ring. What happened in those 2 fights, and how has that changed you as a fighter?
Well, I mean, I've spoke on this before, and I don't want to continue to, I don't want to like make excuses. Like I said, it's not who I am. At the end of the day, those, I don't call them losses, those lessons, they done a lot for me. They've made me more disciplined. They made me a stronger fighter. Better IQ. They made me just honestly more aware of boxing and its seriousness that comes along with it. A lot of people, especially a lot of just fans, they don't really understand the obstacles that we fighters face day in and day out. And man, like this is the toughest sport in the world. They classify it as the hardest sport for a reason, because there's just so much that comes with it. And when you're not mentally sound, you can't expect to be mentally sound you can't expect to be sound in the ring as a whole, period. It starts boxing is a mental sport more than it is physical. And and that's really mainly what it was, honestly. Like my first loss, like I said, I would attribute it to bad management. I was undefeated. I believe 7-0 or 8-0 at the time, and I had a big opportunity with Top Rank my very next fight. But I decided to take a fight with the kid or whatever, and he was he's a bit more experienced and everything. But before then, he actually fought a stablemate of mine, so I thought we'd even be more prepared for him. But like I said, there just a lot of things that behind the scenes that kind of went on that I was very curious about, even to this day. I take a side eye to it, but at the end of the day, like I said, I took the L, and then I bounced back, and I continue to just refigure things out. I ended up I had actually left my dad for a while, and just due to somebody wanting to invest in me or whatever. So I just kind of took an opportunity, and of course, it didn't pan out the way I thought it would, but you live and you learn once again. And then I actually found my way back with my dad, to which he got me back focused, got me back on track. So then I ended up taking a fight with a 12-0 kid by the name of what's his name, Irvin Gonzalez. He was a signee by Lou DiBella, and ended up fighting him, knocked him out in the third round. And then I actually had got signed by DiBella at right after that, and I was with them for not even probably 2 months, because like I said, just during my second loss or whatever, I was actually going through a divorce, my divorce or whatever. I was married at one point, and going through a divorce, with a lot of stuff going on with that, just a lot of back and forth. There was just stuff going on with my camp. It was just a lot of troubles or whatever during that time. And I ended up dropping a majority decision on my homecoming fight after I got signed. I was supposed to have a homecoming fight, and then I was supposed to fight on TV about like a month or two after that. It's supposed to be like my coming out party, and I kind of end up fumbling my own coming out party, basically. So, we ended up choosing a tough opponent for no reason when we didn't have to. I mean, just a lot of mishaps, but
A lot of mismanagement and
yeah,
in matchmaking,
right,
coupled with some personal stuff that you had going on, divorce.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I appreciate you sharing that, and I know it's not easy to share because we don't want to dwell on our losses, but we, like you said, there are lessons we learn from them, and it's just to give fans a perspective, because sometimes as fans we just think that you guys are just Superman. You're supposed to get in there, do what you got to do, and things don't affect you. We saw that a little bit with Teofimo Lopez, and how his relationship with his wife affected his performance in the ring. Some of the health issues that he was having affected his
Mhm.
performance against George Cambosos that he got brutally criticized for. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they'll write us off, man, and without really knowing or giving us the benefit of the doubt. I mean, like I said, a lot of people, they'll look at my two losses, and they'll think, oh, I'm trash, or I'm this and that. But at the same time, like I said, I'm came from that same era with the, like I said, the Shakurs. I was at the trials for Shakur. I was at, all them other guys, Ruben Villa, Abraham Nova, all those guys who are mentioned on us on TV. Bruce Carrington, we fought twice. I beat him, he beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot of notable names that I've fought and I've been in the ring with and been on the same level as. So it's
you have
on.
the same pedigree.
Yeah, exactly. So
Guys, you have
for
some
me to be written off like that, it's kind of like what? But you know,
she has some derailments, along the way, and that's and what I'm trying to illustrate to folks, and that's why I appreciate you sharing, is that the post Mayweather era, if you get one loss in your record, you're pretty much written off. The while the 50-0 is a historic monumental, it kind of poisoned the mind of fans, where now, or even sometimes the boxing pundits and rankings, when you get a loss, it's just like also you just trash, and they forget that a lot of the great champions from the past have losses on their records. So it's not anything you can't bounce back from. And bounce back from is what you did. You have won all your fights since then. You left the Bella Promotions for a reason, right? And now you're with Gina Promotions, and you're just skyrocketing now. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, I'm on a 6-fight winning streak now, and and that just ultimately that's probably the most invigorating and like rewarding feeling about all of this is that, like I said, after that second loss, I was completely ground zero again. Like I was completely down. I didn't know. I was even considering stop boxing. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like I said, I just got divorced. I mean, just started my divorce. I was just going through it, man. I still had my daughter to take care of. I didn't know what my future held. I was just completely down bad, and for me to muster enough strength and courage to pick myself back up and continue to manifest this dream and continue to strive and keep going. And look, and once again, I want to commend my parents and my support system, man, for helping me along the way. Because without them, I wouldn't be here today. But like I said, then my manager, Trifin Petrov, he reached out, he found me online or whatever, and he seen the talent in me, and he gave me a shot. And I've always been the type, like I said, all I need is an inch. You give me an inch and I'll take them all for sure. And he just given me that little bit of space and opportunity to shine, and that's what I continue to do. And that's what I'm going to continue to do, from this point on, because like I said, there's more to me than those 2 losses, and people will see, and they still haven't even seen my best yet. I'm still on scratching the surface.
You have taken on the wolf mentality.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about that. What does it mean when you're on social media and you're promoting your fights and you reference the wolf?
Oh yeah, right here, the WXXXLF. Yeah, like when people, I get that question a lot. People want to know what exactly it means and why I spell it that way. And it's because, I mean, really, anything I've ever wanted, I've always been persistent, and I get what I want. And I'm just the type that I don't like to take no for an answer. I'm gonna get what I want, at the end of the day. And between that and then the AAA just more so represents my unpredictability. I would call myself a jack of trades, man. I like to dibble and dabble and everything. Like I said, I dance, I sing, rap, make music, whatever. I tumble, flip.
Hey, you do a little bit of movie stuff too, man. A little like movie voiceovers.
Oh yeah, acting. Yeah, I wanna try acting at one point in time. I want to do commercials, man. Just whatever. Like honestly, my overall goal in the sport is to eventually, of course, I would love to transition into entertainment. I'm a natural born entertainer. I've always done all these things my entire life. So, of course, I'm using boxing as my my transportation to get there, of course. But that's not where it ends with me. I don't, I'm not just here just to take punches, trade punches, or whatever, and then just exit the sport. I feel like there's a lot of value that I can give to the world in other spectrums. But yeah, so really just that, me being unpredictable, man. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you're gonna get when you step in the ring with Elijah Pierce. I can box, I can bang with you, I can sharpshoot. Like I said, there's just many facets of my game that people haven't necessarily seen yet, and I'm just waiting on the big opportunity to showcase myself.
You won your last fight big, man, against another undefeated prospect, and as I was following the lead up to the fight, there was some bad blood there, man. What? I mean, I've seen you talk shit before. You, aside from your natural shit talking too, you know. But this was different. This seemed almost like personal, man. What was the difference this time around with this guy?
Honestly, it wasn't nothing necessarily personal against him whatsoever. And a matter of fact, much respect to him, much love to him. I wish him the best in his career moving forward. And
But you obliterated him.
It's all good. But no, there was nothing personal towards him. what's personal, like I said, it's this is a goal for me, and which is what I try to tell him in our press conference. I said, dude, like, I'm supposed to be on that top tier level with these guys, with these Shakurs, with all these other guys that's aforementioned. I'm supposed to be on that level. I just went through different trials. Now everybody doesn't have the same road to getting there, and that's all. That's all it is. I'm supposed to be on there, and that was this fight was another statement to prove that. And all I'm trying to do is get on the level that I deserve to be on, and I'm not going to let no fucking body stop me from getting there, especially nobody at that, at that weight class. I believe like I'm just too much of a threat at that weight class. I'm a multi-dimensional fighter. I'm not just a one-trick pony, where I just can do one thing well. No, I can do multiple things well. And especially at that weight class I'm already bigger. I'm a bigger, stronger puncher at that weight class as well. Well, really at 22 or 26. But so that's really what it was just more so about, man. Like I said, I'm here to prove a point and make a statement that ain't nobody fucking with me. And I'm really a top tier fighter. I'm a world-class fighter, and I deserve to be treated as such.
And your talent was always there. But what I see different in this 6-fight win streak is that. What I see different in you is that. Because along with talent, there's a certain swagger that winners, that champions take with them. It's kind of like Bruce Leroy when he got the glow.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got that glow now. And you walking with a confidence, you're walking with a swagger, and it just seems like everything is lining up now for Elijah Pierce. What's next?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping to be back in the ring. I wanted to do a hometown fight. Now that I didn't got this fight out the way, I want to do 2 hometown fights, just because I haven't fought back in the city in Oklahoma City in probably about 5 years. So, I just wanted to give a chance for my hometown fans to see me fight and, do something for them, and then to take it back to Atlanta possibly in December and have another fight. But as far as major fights, I'm looking to fight for another title. Maybe I guess another regional title or whatever. And sometime in February. It'll be on another Jeter Promotions card. And shout out to Jeter Promotions. Shout out to my promoter Tony Jeter and his wife Kristen Jeter. Like I said, just that'll probably be the next big one. And then after that, man, whatever else comes, I'm ready for who and for who and whatever, especially at 22. I mean, I could really give a fuck who it is. It can give me the top. They can give me the top dog. They can give me top 10, top 5. It doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, they all gonna meet the same fate because this is destined. I'm walking that confidence that people are saying now. Like I said, they're walking with someone who's been through the trenches. I've been through the darkness and I've overcame. And I feel like that's one of the most powerful things about me. You're fighting, you're in the ring with somebody who's already been tested, not only tested in the ring, tested by life. So, you have to be able to go to a certain place. And I don't think that there are a lot of fighters out there who, especially the protected ones, they're not going to be able to go to the same place that I'm willing to go in a fight. And I feel like that's one of my biggest advantages.
Nice, man. So, what's the plan? What is Jeter's Promotions plan? What's the manager plan? Ultimately, when can we see Elijah Pierce on TV contending, move from prospect to contender, and ultimately contender for a world title? What's the plan? A year, 2 years, 3 years? What are we looking at here?
And we trying to go full speed ahead. I mean, because like I said, really, I feel like I should have already kind of been in that spectrum a while ago. But like I said, things happen the way they happen. So we kind of backtracking a little bit. But, that's why I'm saying whoever is willing to step up and take me on. And like I said, I'm not running for nobody. I'm ready for whoever. So I mean, the faster, I even called out a couple undefeated fighters this past week. There's another guy from Baltimore I called out. He's, I believe, like 12-0. He didn't want no smoke with me. There's another guy, I believe he was 16-0. or whatever. And I think he's from a different country, I believe. But yeah, and he didn't want no smoke with me. So at the end of the day, man, only thing I can do is just continue to stay ready and wait for my opportunity. And I'm damn sure gonna seize it when it's that time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, folks, there you have it. Elijah Pierce, the Wolf, lone survivor, ready to take on all names in the super bantamweight division, currently residing in Atlanta. You heard his pedigree. Be on the lookout. He's on a 6-fight win streak. Champ, I'll give you the last word. What do you want to tell the folks? Who do you want to put on notice?
First and foremost, man, like I said, I always give thanks to the creator for everything he's done for me. You know, I appreciate everyone who's going to tune into this interview. And you guys can follow me at on Instagram at Elijah Pierce, Elijah_Pierce. Man, like I said, anybody in the 122 division, they can all fucking get it. Like I said, I'm from there's a kid, a prospect named Hector Valdez out of Texas. I'll love to fight him. There's a kid, I was a stablemate in Joseph Diaz's camp, Tremaine Williams. We can get it. Even some of the top guys in the weight class, Ronnie Rios. I mean, anybody in the 122 division, it does not matter. Like I said, of course, the ultimate goal is to get the world title. Whether I don't know if Stephen Fulton will still be, he's the top dog at 122. I don't know if he'll still be, I don't know if he'll still be at that weight by the time, I think we'll be contending for the title. But if he is and he can get it too, shit, I did this as
No Standing ain't boxing podcast. We discuss every organization and weight class with your host, Bronx Bomber, educated with the craft. Punch a topic hard like heavyweights, hitting the bag from the top rank to the upcoming. Washed up to the dark horse, champs, #1 contenders, quick jab or sharp cross. We source, tuning in, you can have it internationally known. Our information is valid. See, we on a higher plane. No 2 episodes the same. We get better as we train. So on top we remain. Come join the conversation. The same sight you gain. In and outside of the rain, we do the damn thing.
And I'm confident that was you there.
I appreciate you, man. Like I said, once again for the interview, and just ultimately for following me, along this journey, man. Like I said, I know you've been there for a long while, so I really appreciate it.
No worries. Good luck to you, man.
No doubt, man.